Okay, so I'm here with a video today. I happen to have about 45 minutes. I'm about to go tanning, actually, and then I'm going to go to jiu-jitsu. But I wanted to make a video this morning. My tripod broke. By the time I tried to, stack everything up and find a position to make the video, it was time for me to get ready to go, and I knew this would be a long one. So, briefly, I will say that there's two subjects. One is about negativity and negativity in your life and how you could rid yourself of it, or how that whole process, which I've made a video on before. So the first and foremost, if you haven't seen it, go back. I've talked about how to come up with a game plan before you're going to be around people that you can't control being around. For example, negative family members. We're going to talk about friends, but negative family members, you can't necessarily, I mean, you can. I avoided my family for a little while. I avoided certain events after I went through what I went through with my eating disorder and the depression and all that other stuff, and my mom understood that. But basically, if you have things that you can't control, people that you can't control, and that you go around them because they're in your family, then you have to control the situation. So if somebody starts to, and I talked about this, if somebody starts to talk about something negative or dog you for something that you're doing that's them clearly hating on the strength that you have, and they're being negative to you because they don't have the strength to do it themselves, and you guys kind of get what I mean. You have to have a backup plan. Before you go into a family's house, you got to have okay, what's going to be my subject changer? And it could be a gossip story or something like that. So I've talked about that in a video. You can find that. The big thing with me is about people that you can control. Well, one of the big things with me is about the people that you can control. You do have the opportunity to not be friends with people that you were friends with for years, but maybe that you grew apart. Maybe right now you have a friend that, yeah, she's kind of dogging on you, or he is kind of dogging on you. And maybe I wouldn't use the word, they're a good person and you're a good person, but you guys aren't good friends anymore. Maybe you've been friends with 20 years and you've just grown apart. Maybe maybe you guys had a great relationship when you were younger, but now the trials and tribulations of life have weighed on their shoulder, and now you're making changes and they're not ready for those changes, so they're dogging your changes, and now they're not truly being a quote-unquote friend. You don't have to stay friends with them. People can agree that you're just not close anymore. There's just no point to it. You can avoid. You can decide, you know what? I need to spend more time on something else, on this, on my career, on bettering myself. First things first, you have got to love yourself first. And even if you do, I'm a non-cocky, I do love myself. I'm very hard on myself, but ultimately, and that picture of me and my son, people tag me in it all the time, and I can't even go there most of the time. Sometimes I do, but I really don't even want to go there because I can't bring myself to see those comments because it's hurtful. So you need to say to yourself, is it better if I am by myself and going to a bookstore and working and doing stuff that is going to make me a better person, make the world a better place, to be super dramatic about it, than just to be friends with these people because we've been friends for years? You don't have to do that. You don't have to stay friends with them. There's nothing wrong if you're by yourself for a while, because eventually when you are around, and here's the thing, when you're around negative people, but you really want to change and be around more of a positive influence of people, you're not going to attract that positive influence of people. It's almost like you're dating a guy that you don't really want to be with, but you do want to find somebody else, but you stay with him because it's convenient. You're never going to find the right guy. Or you're not really happy with yourself and you're trying to find a right guy or girl, and you're looking too hard and you haven't yet loved yourself enough to then just attract somebody that's looking, or that's, bettering themselves, and then you guys fall into place. So the same thing comes with friends. You're hanging around people that are really maybe not that good for your psyche or for anything about you, but yet you want to hang around a more positive group of people. But maybe there is somebody that wants to be your friend, but they won't be your friend because you're friends with those people, and those people are haters and not nice. So I say it's better to be by yourself and be the best you can be than to be around other people just to have company, which is terrible company, and it's affecting you. And so that's that. Now, we've already been 5 minutes in. This is the big part of the video. So somebody on Instagram asked me about anxiety. So I'll try to make this story short, but I'm going to tell you guys a little secret about myself. So it's not really a secret, but basically I've been going to doctors for multiple reasons. I went to a neurologist, regular doctor, gynecologist. I've had all these different, scans and, just everything blood work like crazy to find out what's going on with me because of stuff that I'm going through. There's one thing I'm still not ready to tell you guys, and I will, I promise you, I will, but that was part of the reason it sparked all this stuff. And then my whole memory issue, which I've always suffered from memory issues, but it was certain things that triggered it that made me think, why is this going on? So I got tested, and it comes to find out that I have PTSD, which this you guys all know. So now I've been, and I told you guys in one of my videos that I'm going to start tracking what I'm going through. And if you're friends with me on Facebook, you might have saw last Tuesday, because every Tuesday I go see this woman. And then once a month I have a functional medicine doctor that doesn't believe in, medication. She believes in all herbs. So I have a significant number of herbs, oils that come from flowers. Which one of my clients, Angela, hooked me up with doTERRA, and it actually, my functional medicine doctor loves doTERRA and all the stuff that helps with ADD, concentration, moods, all that other stuff, muscle soreness. But 2 Tuesdays ago, not this Tuesday that just passed, the Tuesday before that, I literally had like a really bad breakdown. Fighting some major demons about just like things about me and about I was being really super negative. I know I tell you guys all the time about affirmations and about how I say that it took me 7 years of telling myself I'm not stupid to truly believe that I'm not stupid. But in the back of my mind, and this is me telling you my secret, I still kind of think it. And it comes out a lot. And my memory issues is a combination of stuff that I'm going through, combination of trauma, and a combination of what happens when I listen to something and then I'm never really there in the moment because my own voices are so in my own head, taking over with my insecurities and paranoias and anxiety, that I don't even really listen to or be paying attention to what's going on. Maybe I'm on my way to jiu-jitsu and I'm like not consciously negatively self-talking, but I'm getting nervous and I'm thinking all these bad things, and it all boils down to, so 2 Tuesdays ago was a really horrible, terrible thing, but then it came out phenomenal, and like, I believe this woman is like an angel to me, both of the people that I'm working with, but my trauma therapist. And then this Wednesday, like, we had like a super epiphany, and I gave her like an example of something that happens to me. And I'm going to start out by saying that, everything in life happens for a reason. I might not remember a lot. I don't remember a lot of my high school. I don't remember what it felt like to be friends with a lot of my old high school friends. I have pictures. I don't remember what it was like when I went to karaoke every Tuesday night when I was, for the first 5 years of me being a trainer. Like, there are a lot of things that I don't remember. There is a lot. And I talk to my mom every now and then, and I ask her to tell me stories. And she told me one yesterday that like blew my mind. But I'm okay with it. And there's a reason why I don't remember those things. I mean, I was physically abused. I was molested. I was emotionally abused. And I am here right now in the best place I could be, with the most amazing husband, with the greatest son, with the most phenomenal position of where I stand as a motivator, helping, quote unquote, hashtag change people's lives or change lives, because I survived my past, and I couldn't have survived it if I allowed myself to stay in the moment. A lot of the few little memories that I do have of when I was beat up or when these certain situations happen, it's always from an observer. So if I think of a memory right now, I'm in a tree and I could see myself with that person. I could see I'm at the top of the stairs and I could see my dad beating me up in the middle of the staircase. And she basically got me to feel like you're a survivor and you needed that. So and yes, I would like to remember some of these things and know them, and I'm not trying to run away from them, but thank goodness I don't remember them, because if I did, maybe I wouldn't be here. Maybe I wouldn't have the strength. I forgot what it felt like to be depressed, which is why I'm able to be so strong, which is also why I'm like so strict with what I eat and what I do. And I can't allow myself to not work out. And I need you guys to motivate. I need to motivate you guys to be motivated, because if I don't have that, what if I do slip back into that? And I don't know how many days can I not work out before I feel like I'm not going to work out anymore? How many days can I have a cheat before I give up? And like, these are some of this is the reason why I'm such an extremist. But I'm going to tell you guys a story. And this is where I think and this was the epiphany that I have. I went to Catholic school and I was severely bullied. My next door neighbor was the same age as me. And basically me and him, I was a super tomboy. Me and him would play after school. But when we were in school, he pretty much got all the girls against me. One of the stories my mom told me, which this I didn't know, she said, my mom used to work up the block from the Catholic school. And she said that for a while I was really disconnected and I wasn't talking. And I don't remember any of that. And she said one day she decided, she kind of had a feeling that the kids were making fun of me at school and all that other stuff. And I know I'm jumping all over the place, but like one time, and she didn't find out until after, there was carpool, and I was in the car with my next door neighbor, which is the one that bullied me, and two other girls, which are the ones that bullied me. And and this breaks my heart. I can't even believe this. I don't know what I would do if I was my mom. That's why I fucking love my mom so much, because she's like super mom to me. But I was banging on the window in the back of the car, and I was screaming, no, please, I don't want to go. But it's because I didn't want to be in the car, but my mom thought I just didn't want to go to school. So like, she was crying and all that other stuff, and then she come to find out that it's because they were bullying me in the car, even around the mother, and the mother shut it down, and that was like the first time. But then they were bullying me at school. I do remember being put up against a wall, and then my next door neighbor made the girls play dodgeball against me. When I was in this school, and my mom watched it, so this is why I think my mom's super mom. My mom took a lunch break and walked up the block, because my mom didn't drive until she was like 30-something years old, so that was another reason why there was carpool. So my mom walked up the block and watched them like pretty much abuse me. Then my mom had a talk with the sister Anine was her name, who actually ended up getting fired after all this. My mom pulled me out of school. But these are the things that I remember. For some reason, this next door neighbor of mine was like the class clown, the head of the class. And I don't know how the F he did it, but apparently he was in with this Sister Anine. So like, for example, Sister Anine would call on people, hey, who knows who this president is? And I'll never forget this. And it was a statue of President Lincoln, and I didn't know who it was. So because I didn't know, she made me stand up and go to the front of the room. And then she asked how many people in the room know who this is, and everybody raised their hand. And she's like, and you don't know who this is? And all this time I'm thinking that and this is a memory that I like just came to remember again. Then she says, how many people know who this is? And everybody knew who it was. And then she said, and you don't know who this is? What's wrong with you? Then, I don't know if you guys remember that commercial, but where they say, sit, Ubu, sit, and then the dog would bark, and then they would say, good dog. So she would say, forget it.